Joe Hopkins here, and you should use jam tracks for practicing. I do, and I'll tell you why you should. The main reason is, right, most of us are guitarists, but this goes for any instrument or anything in life, really, is to get good at something, you have to do it. You have to actually do it. And it helps to do it in context. I mean, you can practice guitar, just you and a guitar, and that's good. That's fine. That's fine for the basics and stuff. And you can practice to a metronome, and you can learn the parts, and you can practice them just you and your guitar. But to really get good at something, you have to do it in context. That means playing music, right? Now, if you just are the type of person that strums and sings, that's fine. That's the context. You're playing your chords and singing. But if you want to learn how to play music with other instruments with a band, or how to improvise, or to get better at your rhythm guitar or anything, practicing it in context is a really good thing. Now, you can practice with a band, and some of us play with other musicians. That's great. That's a wonderful way to do it. It's a little bit limiting just in the fact that, well, for one, how often do you get together with your friends and practice? Is it every day? You can't always. And also, do you play everything with your friends? Some bands literally sit down and play a little bit of everything. But if you want to try different things, a lot of times you have to do it with other people or practice to a jam track. Now, here's the wonderful benefit of the jam track right there. They have them on YouTube. You look it up on YouTube, and you can practice whenever you want with a track. It's like playing with a band. There's not as much give and take. It's a pre-recorded thing, but it's definitely a good way to get better at playing guitar or any instrument. I've found tracks that are, guitar, drums, and stuff like that, and you can practice bass with them, and it helps up your bass game a little bit. I'm sure they have tracks for drums and for everything else too. It doesn't matter what instrument you play, you can use this. Now, I'll tell you some of the great benefits of practicing to these. One of the really good ones is you can try out a lot of different things, right? It helps make you a much better musician, being able to try different things. For instance, if you're a rhythm guitarist, right? It's nice. Most of these tracks, you look it up, it tells you what kind of track it is: blues, metal, rock, whatever, funk, country. And it gives you the key you're in, and usually tells you the chord progression. Most of them do, and some of them even highlight the chord that you're on. So when you're practicing your rhythm guitar, you can follow along, and you can try strumming, you can try power chords, you can try arpeggios, all sorts of different rhythm things along with it, to kind of practice those and see what works in what context. Those little arpeggios you're doing might work great for this song, but not for this one. This one you need to do some power chords, or this one you just strum the regular chords, or you can try chords in different places on the neck, different ways to play those chords, and see what works in what context. Because different songs are different, you can try a lot of different songs and find this works here, this doesn't work over here. That sort of thing. That's how you get good at your instrument. That's also how you broaden and learn new things, is by trying it and experimenting and finding what works and what doesn't. I do a lot of improvisation stuff. I kind of do a lot of lead guitar. I do rhythm, obviously, but I really have fun with lead guitar, and I really enjoy making it up as I go. It's all improvisational. And to get good at that, it's good to have a backing track where you can actually play along with it and, once again, experiment. It's surprising what works in what context, and sometimes some things don't work. Hey, this worked in the last song, but it doesn't work in this one. And you start to develop an ear for it, man, so that when you're playing with other people, you can listen and go, oh, this is similar to what I was doing on this jam track here. I can do the same kind of stuff, and it's more or less going to work. You know what I mean? You have a good idea of what works and where it works and how it works. Without practicing, you don't learn those things. And without experimenting, you don't learn those things. And usually when you get together with your friends, most of the time when you're playing with other people, it's not the time to experiment. It's the time to learn a song, play a song, that kind of thing. And there might be some experimentation within that context. But to really spread your arms and fly and really experiment with stuff, a jam track is good. A jam track doesn't get bored or frustrated with you messing around over the track to find out what works and what doesn't, right? When you play with your friends, they might get tired of it after a while. Like, we don't want to just keep playing this over and over again so you can try stuff. You know what I mean? Jam tracks don't do that. You can fail 100 times and do everything wrong until you find the right thing, and it won't get upset at you. And that's a good thing to do, man. Fail over and over and over again. Try stuff and find out what doesn't work. That's as good as finding out what does work, right? You go play with your friends and play with the band. They don't want to do that all day. Would you? Do you literally just want to play the same thing for an hour so that the bass player can figure stuff out? No, not really. That's what jam tracks are for. And there are quite a lot of them on the YouTube, which is very useful. You can plug in your amp, get the right volume compared to the track on YouTube, and just play along. Or if you're playing with amp sims on your computer, same kind of thing. You bring up the track, and then you bring up your little amp sim, and you adjust stuff until you're at where you want to be, and then you just play. You play around with it. It's pretty good stuff. Honestly, I really like sub-funk jam tracks on YouTube. SUBFUNC. If I remember to, when I'm editing this, I'll put a link down here. I really like their tracks. You notice I've done some jams on the YouTube here because it's fun to do. It's another thing with the jam tracks. You can kind of, video yourself playing the stuff and put it out there if you want. It's kind of neat just to show off every once in a while. And I'm not claiming I'm the greatest guitarist in the world, but I'm reasonably good. And maybe somebody wants to see that. Maybe they'd like it. Maybe give them some ideas. That's the thing. I watch other people's jam things, and I think, oh, I like what they did there. I could do that. The other nice thing with some of these jam tracks, not all of them, but a lot of them have, it plays the whole track, and then it'll play the whole track again with, I guess, the guy who recorded the jam track, doing a little jam over it. And the nice thing with that is you just heard the track and you just messed around with it, and then you get to see what they do with it, what somebody else does with that. And you can watch that and go, I like that idea. I'm going to incorporate that, or I like how that works. That can be a good thing. Now, not all of them do that, but some of them do. But yeah, having a good jam track you could practice along with will make you a better musician, whether you're playing rhythm or lead or whatever it is. Or even if you're playing other instruments, if you're a multi-instrumentalist, maybe you could make your own jam tracks. That can be fun too. Personally, I've done that before because I can play the various instruments to make a track. Not everybody can. Maybe you're just a guitarist. You don't really know much about bass or drums or, keyboards or anything like that. But yeah, still, if you do, you can have fun making your own jam tracks. And then if your jam tracks are pretty good, you can start a jam track YouTube channel like a lot of these other channels and put out some jam tracks, and then I can jam to your track. And that would be pretty cool. If you guys do put out jam tracks, send me a link to them, man. I'll jam to your track. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. But yeah, just type in, and it doesn't matter what genre of music you play or want to try, you type it in. Let's say you play metal. You want to practice some country just to do it, because it's fun sometimes. Some of those country licks are hot, man. You want to practice them. Country jam track or backing track. I usually type in backing track, country backing track, and it'll bring them up. Every genre is out there to practice on. And I would especially, if you're in a band, I'd recommend trying out some jam tracks that are not in the genre that you play in your band, because you're used to that genre. It's good to see, well, what can I do in this other genre, this other kind of music? What fits in this? And sometimes you learn some stuff and play a little bit differently in this other style that then you can bring back over to what you do on a regular basis. And that can be pretty cool too. So there you go. There's my thoughts on that. You guys should look up some backing tracks, some good old jam tracks, and jam to them. Jam away, man. And I'd recommend doing something that I do a lot, which is going back and forth between lead and rhythm. I've found I'll practice some lead stuff, and then I'll just follow the track with the chords, you know? Just do some rhythm. And then when I get into that rhythm thing, then I'll go back to the lead, and it seems like I do a lot better because I got more of a feel for what's going on at that point. I mean, you can mentally recognize it, but then my hands now have been, my hands know what I'm doing. And that's just a pro tip. That's a pro tip. Yeah, go back and forth between lead and rhythm. The lead will make your rhythm better. The rhythm will make your lead better. And then you're practicing both. And that's nice. Most of these jam tracks are at least 5 minutes long. Some of them are like 11, 12 minutes long. So you got time to, and you can put it on repeat and just, you know, do your rhythm and then do your lead and then do your rhythm and then do your lead. And then you're a better guitarist. And even if you're just doing it for fun and not strictly to improve, you will improve, but it is fun. It's a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. When I was first learning guitar, you had to play with other people. We didn't have jam tracks like this. This is awesome. I mean, they existed, but you had to order them or get them on CD or something, or cassette tape. This is so great. It's just on YouTube. You got endless tracks to play over. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. And, yeah, I got some jams on here. You guys should check them out. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video, all right? Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.